John Dewey, a famous educationist of 20th century, he believed that in education system, students are not the center of gravity. We talk more about the teachers, we talk more about the syllabus, we talk about the process of examination, but not students. So, what we have decided today is we will be keeping you as the center of gravity and we will be discussing the various facets or aspects that you as a student face in this journey. Welcome to this podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Sir, how are you? It's been a long time.
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How's your journey going on, sir, in life?
Journey wonderful, enjoying, very exciting.
Focusing on the destination or the journey, sir?
Journey. So I am the individual always focuses on the process. Focus on the process, not on the outcome. It has been my motto, and I'm trying to practice it,
Mhm.
and almost successful, I can say.
That's great, sir. So, I had seen you in terms of your work ethics. You spend a good amount of time in your constituency meeting people, and when we were having conversation, you told that almost 40 to 50% of the people you've met in your constituency. And in terms of politics aside, the amount of work that you put in on a frequent basis with insights is also quite significant. In your point of view, in your perspective, sir, what do you think about the psychological state of a student, that too in an environment like ours, competitive environment?
So this is a question that I have been thinking about it, and even my understanding is evolving year after year. Because 12 years ago, when I started this institution, I started with 40 students and with direct interaction with them, and that has been the modus operandi, the kind of work, the kind of approach we have at InsightsIAS is to have direct interaction with the students. So add to that, myself and yourself, we were also aspirants. We have our own set of experiences, our own set of psychological uh, like ups and downs that we have had during the phase when we were aspirant. So collectively, it has given me significant understanding
Mhm.
regarding the psychology of an aspirant, where now currently it has allowed me to empathize with them, deeply understand what they are going through, and respond to their requirements. So we listen a lot rather than telling them a lot. Whenever somebody comes and sits in our room, we don't try to either romanticize or uh, glorify our own experiences, telling that I went through this, so you also go through this. So we have to empathize based on the current context, what they are going through. So the psychology of an aspirant, it varies from individual to individual, but they go through lots of issues, starting with a simple day-to-day stress with anxiety issues to clinical depression, right? And then what I think, all of this, why this happens, there are various reasons, okay, but if I have to broadly generalize, so one of the fundamental reasons I think is that they don't know the nature of the competition. They haven't understood in its all dimensions, the nature of the competition. They don't know the depth of it, right? They don't know what it demands from them, the competitive examination, and they're not aware about the kind of challenges it has, throughout the different phases of the examination. So mere looking at syllabus or previous year question papers or some toppers videos or some toppers articles, that is all superficial. It just gives the surface level understanding. So but the depth, only once you start preparing for the examination, you start experiencing it by yourself, right? You will start knowing the enormity, right? So then you're on your own. So how to deal with that? So suddenly it all looks uncertain, right? You have to manage so many things, so many subjects to study, complete, understand,
Revision, answer writing practice.
practice, and then give test, what to do when, right? So and then if at all you are in an institution, then there are so many competitors, and everyone's competence and the knowledge level, skills vary here. Some of them may appear advanced, Some of them may look very senior. Some of them who are given mains interview, they might intimidate you, right? They might scare you, right? And then sometimes the teachers, institutions are not uh, empathetic towards students, and they're not available also, and they're not friendly enough for these students to come and share their experiences. So all these things, and again you are in an uncertain environment, in a new place, doing something new. All these years you have been doing medical science or engineering or something. Suddenly you have to do so many unrelated, so many things that you hadn't done in the past at a very deeper level. Not It is not that they know that they have to deeper level. Slowly the exam teaches that your knowledge is not sufficient enough. So then there are trials and errors, and every time you fall you have to get up by yourself. Nobody is there to pick you up, right? And then you have to self motivate a lot. So the series of issues for one mind to handle all these things, it is definitely uh, too much to do. So that is why the mentorship, it can be anyone, any experienced somebody who can empathize. So they all come into picture here.
Exactly, sir. Because when I look at my life, when I started my aspirant journey, competition was there. But I don't think the kind of stress that students are facing as of now, that kind of stress might not have been there during our times, because somewhere down the line we used to also maybe enjoy the process. Somewhere down the line the amount of information bombardment was not so much. But when we talk about the present times, because of technology, telegram and whatnot, there's so much of information. Everyone, every Tom, Dick and Harry gives them their opinions, and somewhere down the line they lose sight of what they want. They lose sight of what the exam is all about. And by the time they realize this is what the exam is, it might be too late. Some 2 years, 3 years down the line, and then commitments and responsibilities of life, the motivation aspect comes into picture, and everything seems to get lost. That is what I feel is happening with a good number of students in the present times. And
They are lost.
and when they are lost, they're not aware of it. For teachers, if students are meeting you regularly, consistently having conversations, you can make out that something is amiss in the students and try to have conversations, bring them on track. I'm pretty sure when you have conversations on a frequent basis with students, you can also make out. But when students stop coming, when student miss the link, you spoke about mentorship. I've had interactions with various institutions in various capacities in my past, but one thing that sets insights apart is mentorship. Now, when students come, approach, they talk about everything with regards to UPSC or maybe some challenges they're facing in terms of life. Maybe we can be there to handhold them, help them in our own ways. But when that communication gets distorted because of some reason or the other, it becomes very difficult. What is your advice to students in this situation, sir?
Again, that has its own reasons why people don't come and talk to mentors. Again, we don't charge anything for anyone. Any student from any institution, whether our students or not, they can come and talk to us. That we have been talking about it. So keeping that aside, if they have a very good mentor in some other institution or outside any institution, they should go to them. But majority of the students and aspirants, they don't go to any mentors. Some of the reasons which I have found out in the very education system. So the education system which you talked about, John Dewey quote you gave, it is not student centric, right? The kind of education system that they have been through, that didn't encourage them to participate in various activities. One of the activities is to go to their teachers regularly and seek improvement, seek some kind of opportunities. So that culture is so weak in our education system. It is centralized. There is a teacher, he dominates, he gives assignments, he tells everything. So it is not collaborative in our education system. Only I think in some of the elite law schools, some maybe in some IITs, IIMs, that kind of education may be there. And I see those students, okay, so somehow they are able to understand. But vast majority, so when they come here, they have this hesitation. if at all somebody has to come to me, so I have heard people saying that, I want to bring an essay to you, sir, but I want to write my best essay, then only I want to bring.
And I'm afraid to show the essay to you, Sharik. There's some type of an excuse that's some.
Yes, I am afraid to show my essay. I am afraid to show my answer because I think it is very bad, poor, and imperfect, not well structured, whatever, like various reasons are there. So here they want to be perfectionist. It is just an excuse. It is not that they want to be perfectionist, because they are not working towards that also, like in a very coordinated manner, in a concerted effort. That is also not put forth to ensure that perfection. It is just an excuse. So they will go back, they will try something, and they will leave it. Right? That doesn't motivate them to approach any mentor. So another reason is that some people have inferiority complex also. Some people have communication issues also, and some of them maybe very rarely maybe arrogant. They think they are very smart. They can figure it out by themselves. That using something. There is another category, as you mentioned, because of technology, everything looks easily accessible.
Complete UPSC in 6 months.
Yeah, in few days you complete this syllabus. So I am there to ensure, like, there are institutions which say that, legal guarantee that, you are going to crack this examination. Acha, so like this, there is misguidance. Is there a word called misguidance? Maybe there is a word. Wrong guidance, bad guidance, poor guidance, and then so many platforms. Right. So they confuse them. In addition to confusing them, they create lots of dependency. That, okay, readily you find something, there is something. You get a doubt that, okay, I am not able to score well in prelims marks, so you will search either chat GPT or on YouTube. So you have a video. So you see it. So when video is made, it's a very general video, right? It is not for everyone. So your personality, your level of preparedness is totally different. So that requires some intervention, right? So you have to go. So the reason why mentorship exists, or why it is needed, is to ensure individuality and originality, mostly originality, right? In your approach, in your preparation, in your answers, in your everything. That is the main purpose of mentorship, to ensure the originality. So when I'm speaking only one-on-one, when I'm looking at an essay, when you are looking at an essay, so my reference point to guide that particular individual is our own previous essay, right? The previous essay which I have seen, is there any improvement? So for me to tell them about improvement, whether she has improved or not, so what is my reference? Best in the competition today. Best in the competition. We have seen n number of copies, either in Delhi, or from Jammu Kashmir, or from our vast pool of students. And then we are updated. We read a lot, right? And we have understood the UP. So we will tell them, see, last year topper wrote something like that. You have downloaded and you have checked, it's fine, right? But if you don't meet mentor because you have got some previous year topper, just exactly like you, there are 100,000 people have done the similar thing. They have downloaded topper copy and they have compared it with your essay and their essay, and you have downloaded or copied some examples and you want to put. I'm seeing the same example everywhere, but there are few people who are original. So now I am going to tell this individual, not the example the best aspirant has written, right? The level you are at currently, it is like very lower level. So you have to up the game in terms of quality of your arguments, ideas, or examples. Example, again, we would never recommend. So originality will be ensured. So now these people have so many tools available. So what it is causing is that, in addition to lots of stress, anxiety, everything, it is putting them in a cycle of failure, as well as what do you call
the cognitive abilities are reducing, sir, because they're not thinking as much as they should. They're not writing as much.
There is also state of denial also.
Yeah. Some students do have that, especially the freshers. In the beginning, they think they know everything, but as and when they experience maybe failures, maybe various challenges, then they try to become humble. But as a teacher, that hurts us. The reason is, if you're wasting 2 to 3 years, time, money, and the toll it takes on your health, you come, you listen to us, maybe we're not the best, but we are good enough to guide you in a direction, and you can pick up on what other people are also saying, which is good, and then you can reach your destination.
See, it reduces the time gap.
Exactly.
So I know 100 mistakes somebody has committed. I will make you avoid all those 100 mistakes. Right? You can directly try to write the best essay. It requires lots of efforts on your part. That is how your preparation has to be intense and very exciting, focused. So to get that kind of preparation, you need to meet. So now, so this is the psychology, right? It is getting disturbed. It is getting the judgment is getting
And there's a lot
clouded.
of emotional exhaustion on part of the students.
See, when you want to do everything by yourself, right? So the best way to free your mind is always to delegate, right? The decision making to somebody who is more experienced, who has more authority. So that is when, see, the mental strain happens when you overburden yourself, trying to do everything. So go to a mentor, get a timetable, execute. You do something, show them, right? Get the feedback. Delegation. So we are ready to take that stress.
And one more thing that I've seen, sir, in terms of students, those who have these stress, one is emotional exhaustion. Apart from that, they are also becoming cynical, and they're losing that kind of passion that they have on things. So,
So why do you think they become cynical?
when they're seeing failure, when they're unable to complete the targets or the routine, they kind of lose that interest in the examination, in any advice, even though it might have some merit or quality, and they just become more pessimistic by the day. So, for these cynical individuals, what is your advice, sir? Emotional exhaustion, you told us that we need to delegate. To deal with cynicism, not to go into that hole of negativity way too much, way to stop, what is the course correction required here?
So this negativity, pessimism, cynicism, right? Where you lose interest in something, what you are doing, you lose the steam, the intensity, gets diluted. So why it happens, you just talked about it. So to deal with that particular thing, going back to the earlier conversation, right? So once again the state of denial. So what we do in this journey is that an aspirant, we keep inventing excuses, lots of justifications to not to put the required amount of hard work, right? When we know that this is something that is going to require lots of hard work, we find a reason to deviate from there, right? And get into a less stressful or less intense work or something. So while taking that decision, I think you have to come and talk to more experienced people. So again, the mentorship comes into picture here. So the pessimism, when you are thinking negatively about you or about the preparation, what is the influence? Is it your roommate? Is it your competitor? Is it a parent?
Is it the past events?
Is it the past events? So we have to analyze, do the self introspection also. And Indian philosophy has the most beautiful concept of mindfulness, right? So living in the moment, living in the present, right? So I think people have to practice that. How do you practice? You have to learn to live in the moment without thinking about the past, without thinking about the future, right? So in the moment, whatever you have chosen, trying to give your utmost best, right? So I think that creates lots of positive moments, right? So that is something again totally missing in our society, because the society is target oriented. In our society, the mobility, the status, prestige, everything depends on achieving certain targets. So they are already filled into your head. So you don't think about that, right? Don't think about all these things. So if you want to be optimistic, less cynical, be highly ambitious. You have to be ambitious in every moment, right? Irrespective of whether it is working in your favor or not, right? So another thing is that practically, to be more positive, we have discussed in the past also, certain good hobbies and interests, they also matter a lot. So these aspirants, they close down. For example, I asked a group of students in my cabin. You would see that 5 to 6 in front of you. There may be 10 students, waiting for. I just asked, "Did you watch Sinners?" They were all like, sinners, what sinners? Right. One of them said, no, I read paper, it is nominated for highest Oscar award, 16. He said, general knowledge. Right. But did you watch the movie, Sinners?
That experience is missing for them, sir.
So they're afraid to watch a movie. They're scared to watch a movie because it's waste of 2 hours time or 3 hours time. And today morning itself, I asked, did you watch The Thinking Game? It's a wonderful documentary. Did you watch the documentary? Thinking Game. Okay. Do you know Demis Hassabis? You don't know, sir. Who is Demis Hassabis? And these are students from, one was from NITK, NIT Surathkal. One was from Best Medical College in Karnataka. One of them from BMS Engineering College. Very well educated, going by the definition here in the society, from best institutions. But they lack this curiosity, right? They don't know how to add some element of excitement, interest in the preparation.
That personality does not grow.
Yes.
Maybe the education system that we are getting, well educated tag of it, it's just about college, it's just about information. But in terms of personality growth, when I think that gets stuck.
So that is when it happens, cynical, because you don't know how to think out of the box. Your mind is not open. You're not willing to learn new things, right? So your ಗಿರ್ಕಿ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದಂತೀವಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ.
You're just in a loop.
In a loop, like, inside what you already know, in your comfort zone. You are very scared to come out of that comfort zone. So I think that is when you see less options, less choices, when your world becomes very, very small, right? So that is when pessimism, cynicism, and then anxiety issues, stress. So to come out of all of them, you have to free yourself. Oh nanna chetana aguni aniketana, right? Oh my spirit, become free. Oh my spirit, become homeless. Right, that is what Kuvempu said, O Nanna Chetana Agunyaniki. It's a wonderful phrase. So these aspirants, more than children going to school, more than anyone, should be aware of these fundamental things, that affect an individual. We don't learn about these things. We don't focus on this. We directly jump into, that to learn, to fill our head, my brain with so much of vast information that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense in the real world for them, right? We don't know how to apply that knowledge. We lack curiosity, right? Morning itself, again, one of the essays I was evaluating. So they are in this preparation for 3 years. So they didn't know the difference between consciousness and conscience, right? So one of them, misunderstood the word conscience for consciousness. Throughout the essay, he used the word conscience, right? So for consciousness. So then I had to explain them. But again, we don't say it is not their fault. I mean, you have to be curious. Again, I believe being curious, willing to learn more, is the best antidote to mental health issues or any kind of issues, because
There's something different happening. There's something beautiful getting added each and every day. And that gives you the fuel to overcome that cynicism of a very negative quality. Some cynicism I can understand. But when that cynicism becomes way too negative and it does not allow you to grow, the personality to grow, that's where you have to change. And this is where, as Sir told, mentorship matters. And one thing that I want to add to my students, your past does not define you. Your failures do not define you as such. And what others think of you don't define you. What you're doing in the moment, as Sir told, that matters a lot. So keep your foot, keep your mind in the present, and don't worry about the future as much as someone else might be. Just focus on the present, and the future might get sorted out in its own way. Sir, we have spoken about stress. Sometimes chronic stress, it becomes so unbearable that students are unable to do anything. And for a teacher, what is your suggestion? Now we have spoken about students. As a teacher, how can teacher play a role in terms of reducing this chronic stress or identifying it in the first place?
But as I said in the beginning, we have to listen very carefully. We have to empathize. We should not give them any psychological advice. don't act as as a psychiatrist or psychologist with them. Don't recommend any medicine or suggest way forward. If we notice that they really have certain issues, right? Sometimes it is evident, anxiety issues, maybe bipolar kind of disorder, extreme negativity. Sometimes that there are symptoms of clinical depression. But again, there are two things here, right? So we cannot directly tell them, you go to a psychiatrist, right? We cannot tell them you go and take clinical help. But only if there is a lots of trust between a teacher and his or her student. Maybe in that, if the relationship is really good, very trustworthy, so then maybe we can recommend that. But if it is somebody who is on and off, but the trust is lacking, and they're just coming, and then we cannot directly tell them, you go to, right? Because they are again in state of denial that I'm fine, right? I'm not facing any of these issues. They know that they have the issues, so they know that they have the issues when they're constantly quarreling with someone, maybe with parents, maybe with boyfriend or girlfriend, maybe with friends, relatives, or strangers also. They know that they have issues, so in that moment they have to go. The first step is to seek clinical help from the professional. It must be done. It is life threatening, right? Any anxiety issue, any clinical depression, so any issue, right, where you are not feeling comfortable, not merely bodily but also psychologically, I think they must go and approach mentor. Yes, when it comes to preparation or sharing, when you feel perfectly fine, but someday you feel that you are sad, sometimes demotivated, come and talk to us. Open up, tell what is happening. So based on our experience, we can recommend. But if yourself know that you have some issues, right, so the best way is to seek professional help. It should never be delayed, it should never be denied also. They have to go and they must get it. So as I said, as mentors we should actually um, empathize and recommend that to them. But again, sometimes I'm afraid that some of them might take it negatively also. It will offend also.
Yeah, there's a lot of stigma about it.
Stigma about it. It might offend them. So in this regard, I don't know how to approach it. Like, if you know that they will get offended because there are certain precedents, there are examples. So I'm actually clueless. I hope those of you who are watching, you can definitely uh, tell your opinion in the comments that how to deal with an aspirant or anyone for that matter who is in a state of denial, who gets offended easily, right? If I have to tell them, go and take clinical help, right? So this is something even I need guidance here, to know what do you think, what can be done?
In my brief experience as a teacher till now, I think as the first point that you told, having the trust with the student, it matters a lot. And in terms of chronic stress, there are certain indicators. Maybe the student who's writing very good answers, maybe the student was very consistent, and here or there, the focus it kind of diverted. Maybe there are genuine reasons. So you start having certain jovial conversations, and in the course of conversation, if the student opens up, maybe then having such a conversation makes a lot of sense. But here, as you correctly pointed out, individuals must be aware, okay, what I'm going through is classical example of chronic stress. I'm increasing my irritability for anyone who is there with me. Once they get that self-awareness and they approach the mentor, and let us say we tell them to get clinical help, I don't think we have to be so worried that they will get offended. But when they themselves don't have that awareness and then we suggest, it can backfire in certain instances. And this is what I think, sir.
Maybe we can inform their parents or something, but only if we know about their parents. But again, that is also we don't know how they are going to take it, because the parents are total strangers for us, right? So if they know about us very well, if they know about the institution, it is something that someone who is supporting our children. So again, there also a trust issue, right? So this is a very sensitive issue, right? Psychology of an aspirant when it is not going well in their favor, I think it's a very sensitive issue. I think it's a self-realization. So I believe they know it best.
Yes, sir. And I was going through an article yesterday, and they were talking about this chronic stress. And they told me about an individual. They also put up the video of this lady 2 days before she committed suicide. She was happy, she was dancing, and on the face of it, no one felt that she was depressed. And come 2 days, she was not there. And that was very sad to read. Somewhere down the line, the people who had studied that case, they were saying that this individual might have been aware that this is what she is feeling. She should have maybe opened up to a friend, family, or got clinical help. When they don't do that, when they suffer alone, then there's not much that others can do. So opening up, talking about your pain, your suffering, and trying to destigmatize it, that is where the society also has to come into picture. And society has to be less judgmental. Each and everyone's journey is different, right? Please don't you be judgmental on someone else, and whatever judgment others are passing, don't take it to your heart. This is the natural part and parcel of life. Pain and suffering, it will be there, but let's deal with it. That's the thing. So now you've spoken about stress quite a lot. In terms of dealing with the stress, what do you think is that prudent mindset that a student should have in competitive exams?
So in competitive exams, we need to simplify things. So we should not look at everything as a big block all at once. So we need to break all of this into small things, manageable things, and then as we have discussed, manage yourself also with the help of a mentor. So, but that is what is again lacking here. Now, when they want to go to prelims, they see all 100 questions, and then like they know that they're not going to answer all 100 questions unless you are a pro and veteran, right?
So, sorry to stop you. Some students, they answer 90, 95 questions out of 100. And when I ask them, why did you do that? They give me a reasoning, sir. I saw somewhere in a video where I was told that this is what I was supposed to do. Maybe in that video, they have told correct. I'm not denying that. But more than answering number of questions, it is the accuracy that also matters.
It is also level of their prepared.
Exactly.
How much information, how much knowledge they know, and also how much skill they have developed, even where they have partial knowledge, how to eliminate options. It's a skill. It's a proper skill, with practice, with lots of knowing the tricks. So you will develop that skill, right? So have you developed that skill? You cannot blindly go on because somebody said attempt 90, 95. If you're a fresher, your knowledge level is up to only, let's say, 60 to 70 questions that you're familiar. 30 questions, you don't know anything. So when before going to prelims, we don't strategize. We don't break it into parts.
We don't simplify.
We don't simplify. I don't go with the mindset, okay, 30 are going to be very easy questions. First, I will handle them. Let's see. My accuracy rate 90 to 100%. So there is next level of difficulty. Okay, there my accuracy could be, let's say, like 70 to 80%. So I'll choose such kind of questions. Right. Another set of questions where it is like, let's say, 60 to 70%. Last set of questions, 50 to 50%. So my chances, if I'm going to do 2, 1 is going to be obviously wrong. So that number of questions should be somewhere around 10 to 15 or something. And now when you are answering 95, you have taken chance with, let's say, 30, 35 questions. So the negative marks that you are going to, commit. So it will bring your score drastically down. So this is the mindset. The prelims 1 block, mains 1 block, interview like 1 block. So I think simplifying preparation by breaking it into, you can break a concept into parts. You can break a topic into parts. You can break a subject into parts. You can break entire GS paper 1 into parts. So I think having that approach, and within each part, what is most important, what is least important, what is not important at all, right? That analysis. So I think if that is what I meant, understanding the demand of the examination, depth of the examination. So once you know that, I think it relieves you. It makes your mind, stress free, calms. Yeah, okay. If I'm perfect with this particular, my returns are going to be this much in the examination, whether it is prelims or mains or in the interview, right?
Sir, apart from simplification, that aspect of mindset, I also think that there should be a general level of passion. There should be a general level of love, commitment to what they're doing. If they're doing whatever they're doing because someone is pressurizing them, because they're afraid of any individual, this does not work out. And when I tell my students that you need to be passionate about studies, some students, they come after the class and ask very innocently, sir, how to be passionate about studies? What is your advice to such students, sir? How to be passionate, how to find that love for studies?
Um, See, I'm just a normal individual now. My ambitions may be totally different. It may be politics, it may be movies, it may be education, it may be anything, whatever it is. Uh, I want to be passionate because I believe, it enriches me so much, right? It makes me so fulfilled. It totally satisfies, my curiosity in a way that, when I go to any place, when I talk to any individual, I feel very relaxed and comfortable in any given situation. Right. I can talk to some people, with respect to, let's say, architecture, or like Egyptian civilization, or Mesopotamian civilization, or latest what happened with the Indus Valley civilization. Equally, I can talk about, okay, Mars exploration. Okay, so now the Elon Musk is trying to create prototype homes, prototype city, like what to do. Like Artemis series of missions, like they want to go to moon. Like why they again want to go to moon, whatever it is. So the learning, when it is happening on the go, without filtering, without restricting it to any particular domain, so it makes my life more meaningful, more really I enjoy this entire process, right? It creates some excitement to learn something new, to know something new, and then to share that knowledge with other individual. So develop passion from this perspective. It is not for the examination at all. So don't see everything from examination. It's a Sunday magazine, the Hindu supplement. I'll open the magazine. Okay, this entire essay article is about the front page. It's about some issue in Kerala, happened recently, and they have written like, let's say, 5,000 word big essay. Why should I read? The returns are very less, right? This is not related to the examination. No, if you're interested in that particular, read completely. So you open, there is, okay, Amitav Ghosh new novel. Okay, there is a review about a novel.
There's a review about a drama.
Review about drama happening, and
These things should not be done for exams, just for the fun of it. Something new, something different.
So this adds new dimension to your individuality or personality. So I think we have to come out of certain conformity, the boundary that we have created. Be passionate just for the sake of enjoying life, right? Don't attach any significance, meaning, any outcome for anything. Right? Earlier you discussed, like you said yesterday, you were there in some other city doing some activity. So you told me before we started this podcast. Now you are here, morning, guiding in this, and this is. I am passionate about this also. I am passionate about doing, discussing these issues with you, with students also. I'm passionate about what I did with that also, and I'm deeply passionate when I go back home, to sit with kids and play with them, right? Or I go for a walk and talk to them. So whatever it is, so that mindfulness, moment after moment, and it has come with this understanding, this awareness, what I'm trying to do. It is not a sudden. I was not like this, right? It's a learned experience. So now I'm trying to tell you and me, we are trying to tell that, don't be like that. You can be like that because we understood through lots of trial and errors, right? So I think those of you who are watching, you have to understand that this is a very honest conversation intended to help you, right? So if you're watching this video, it shouldn't be for getting some points from this video, right? To for the examination or anything. It is like, if you're passionate, you watch, right? If you're deeply interested with the psychology, what goes through in other aspirants' mind, we come up with some case studies and examples. So just for the passion. So what do you think? Like,
Sir, for me, when life gets quite monotonous, I feel passionate, it ends. So when you're working on yourself, and I don't know whether there's going to be another life or not, I just know that this is the life that I have, and I want to experience as many things as possible. And for me, reading books, it's always been a thing which makes me happy. For me, traveling, for me, learning something new has always kept me alive, so to speak. So that is what I want to do. When I feel that I'm not getting that feeling, that spirit is not there, everything around me just kind of darkens. So I try to learn something new, maybe a book review that you spoke about, maybe reading a book because I like the review of it. You have to be engaged. You have to utilize
It
your
makes
time
you
to the best of your abilities.
it makes you feel, you have changed for the better.
Yeah.
You have grown.
Yes.
You're getting more mature,
Yes.
right? And you are free. In your passions, you are free.
And one thing that I want to add here, sir, when you have that passion, no matter what kind of negative experiences you might have gone through in the past, because of that passion, you will find ways to overcome it.
Correct.
And once you overcome it, the kind of confidence that you get, the kind of liberation, the kind of moksha that you feel, nirvana, some people say, is absolutely extraordinary. Many of the students, when they lose their passion, each and every negative experience that they have faced, it becomes even more burdensome. And they lose that importance of perseverance. So for me, passion is life. And without passion, I don't think life as such can continue.
But for an UPSC aspirant, one of the passions, whether they like or don't like, is to repeat, have patience. Right? You have to repeat things here. Repeat not in terms of attempt, in terms of learning also sometimes, to reinforce, to have a deeper understanding, and lots of patience. Patience should also be a virtue, like, passion. I'm very patient, I'm very calm. So be passionate about that also, trying to develop that. Whether you're going to achieve that through yoga or meditation, exercise, sports, whatever, by reading books. So be passionate about that also, changing my personality for the better. Right? One can be passionate about that also. I want to have better communication skill. So I want to be calm and relaxed all the time.
Sir, and with regards to mindset, these days an individual might not be having a very strong mindset in competitive because of distractions that surround them. And you might be aware of this since you interact with a lot many students on a day-to-day basis. What is your suggestions for this individual to reduce their distractions in life?
See, regarding this mindset, recently I came across a video. It gave a new perspective about what is mindset, and it is from highly experts in the field. So they were having this conversation. So one of them asked, "What is mindset?" So she just said one line. So it is settings in the mind. It is settings in your mind. So that is the mindset. It is under your control. You can change the settings in your mind the way you want. Whatever settings you want, you can say you want more brightness in your mobile. You make the setting. You go to settings. You want to, delete unwanted stuff. Reduce the load on your mobile. If it is hanging, you go to settings and you try to do. So the mind, it has settings, right? So if you want to be passionate, you can set your mind in that direction. You just mindset, you can instantly do it by just thinking in that direction, right? If you want to be less desperate, you can do that. If you want to be more ordered, less chaotic, so that is also your mindset. So the question was specifically about
In terms of how to deal with distractions.
distraction. So if you want to be less distracted, so you have to be more focused. So that is also setting in the mind, right? So I think this is the choice we have to make.
Consciously, we have to. I was watching a video where they were speaking about procrastination. And in procrastination, what happens in our brain, there is a rational setting. But this rational setting is always diverted because of this instant gratification that we want in life. So you'll be watching the video as of now, let us say, maybe 10 minutes you would have watched. Something came up in your mobile, you want to look into it. You need that instant gratification. Try to reduce this instant gratification as much as possible. Once you do that, I think the rational mind will keep you grounded, will keep you focused in terms of what you want. when you're chasing instant gratification, it becomes very difficult to be in the moment, to deal with distractions, and everything seems haphazard. What do you think, sir?
See, there have been many experiments.
Marshmallow
The
experiment.
the individual who delay instant gratification, they will become highly successful people, highly successful individuals.
And there is no correlation between talent and success.
Correct.
These type of small little things, they do matter, my dear.
See, saying no to something, right, is a strong trait. Saying no to distraction. So the distraction again, uh, is our choice, right? Whether I want to be distracted or not. Somebody comes and tries to distract you. Something is trying to distract you. So it is my settings in the mind. I can choose to say no. So this is something that I have chosen in this moment. I want to excel in this. I want to do this. Uh, I had tweeted long ago that when there is no focus, there is distraction. Like it is just the lack of focus. There is nothing called distraction in this world.
And you have to keep busy in life, I feel.
Everything happens on its own. Everything will keep happening. People behave differently. People have different expectations. The world is going on, in a chaotic, the way it is going on. But your place in this world, what do you want to be? So I think it's our choice. I can be easily distracted now. Somebody comes and tells me that, okay, don't do this, don't do InsightsIAS, don't do politics, just venture into restaurant or doing this movie. Right? I cannot do that. Because I know what I want. I have ambition. I have clarity in my mind. Right? So okay, let's go. Somebody comes and now stop this podcast. We'll go for coffee or something. So why you have to go? Right? So I think that strong mindset, what we call strong settings in your mind. So our choice that comes with self-awareness, and we should be clear about what we want in our life. And anybody who wants to settle for less things, something like ordinary, I think they get
Sometimes use the term mediocre in my class as well.
mediocre mindset. Okay. So then if you want to settle for less, then you usually get distracted. But again, we have to, again, when we talk about this, we cannot generalize this for everyone. That is something I have learned over a period of years, that everyone cannot be ambitious. Right? So for some people, okay, tranquil, normal life, maybe that itself is the ambition. I don't want to counter. I don't want to argue with them. You become ambitious, complicate life. Right? So from their perspective, it is complication. But from my perspective, it is again series of adventures, makes me strong, makes me tough, makes me handle big challenges or something. But the thing is, what I have eventually trying to figure out is that, can you be ambitious? Can you be relaxed also? Both they go hand in hand. Many people have this fear. If
the cost of other.
if I dream big, I have to take risks. Then there are costs involved here, right? So I think it varies from individual to individual. Then the socio-economic situation for some people, it is real for some people. When they have financial freedom, that definitely stress you out. Okay, then what? How do I stay not distracted? And focused on this big ambition, UPSC, right? So what I tell them is that you look at all the stories of highly successful people. One point or another point in their lives, so they were thrown into such situations, extreme situations, where they didn't have maybe food or a place to live, or total humiliation. Somehow be intelligent, stay strong in those moments. You just let that moment pass. You don't change. You don't deviate. Stay very strong, like a big dam or big pillar or whatever it is. Assume that the big storm is going on around you. You stay strong in that moment. Right? You want to eat only one idli and survive for the entire day, do it. Right? You want to eat only 2 bananas and survive for the entire day, do it.
I remember that podcast, sir, where you had a conversation with Vinita, who was here, about the banana, the story that you had told.
Yeah, we have been through. Like I don't talk about it regularly, because I believe normal part of the life. It has to be like that. We should not over hype, glorify that this is what is happening with my life and all. Just stay the course.
Sir, I'm going to ask you $1 million question. In competitive examination, loneliness, is it a boon or is it a bane?
So again, depends on your hobbies and interests, right? If you really love watching high quality good movies, if you really love reading very good books, if you love writing, right? I won't say loneliness, having less friends maybe, or less distraction of any kind. So you have plenty of time for yourself, right? Again, to enrich, to pursue what you really love. It's a big boon, right? But if you don't have any hobbies, any interest, only this, that stuck with the outcome, you are so much attached to the outcome, then loneliness is a big curse. So you have to go out, be social, participate in every social event, right? So you have to come out of that, right? So once you have developed hobbies, then you can come back. You will feel like you need more time to do more things, right? You won't feel stressed that yeah, like I want to read this book, I want to watch this movie. So maybe you can plan and accordingly you do it.
So what I've seen in our students is good number of students are extroverts, and when they come to competitive examination, this demands a self-discipline of its own. So they get a little bit deviated from the friendship circle that they had at one point in time. They just get too much into the studies, and that type of loneliness I feel is burdensome. It's not going to help you in any way. So there, to have that friendship maintained, to engage with your hobbies, that's always good. So don't be lonely. And this is my personal point of view. Sir told that it's not one size fits all approach, it is different. When you're alone, I'm not using the term lonely. When you're alone, you can be with a group of people and still you can feel lonely. That is there. When you're truly alone as such, that is in that solitude, I feel that is where you find answers for some of the most interesting questions that you might be having in your life. So don't treat being lonely or being alone as a burden. You can learn from it, you can grow from it. It's not a curse, it can be a boon. That's what I think, sir.
It gives you lots of time to introspect, know about yourself. But ultimately, it comes down to having wonderful hobbies. It can be cooking, it can be origami, it can be mandala art, sketching, whatever it is. So, and again, if we have to link it to UPSC, it does so much good to you in the interview also, right? So when you develop these things, majority aspirants do not have, they struggle to fill hobby section, what to write here.
And they keep sending messages, sir, what should I fill in my hobby section? Are yaar, wo to tumhara hobby section hai.
It looks unfortunate, because even I just came back from Delhi like 3 days ago. I was doing mock interviews. They put reading books as hobby. So when you ask which books, maybe like few books, less than 10 books, like Atomic Habits, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, self-help books. There is nothing wrong in reading them. Okay, you read them. But again, the UPSC expectation is of different level.
Yeah.
Right. I would appreciate if you mentioned, okay, books by Dostoevsky or, Leo Tolstoy or, John Ruskin, or even Ruskin Bond is also fine.
One of my students told me, sir, recently there was SDA exam and there was a question. It was a question about a book written by Shashi Tharoor, An Era of Darkness. So even not just UPSC, KPSC or whomsoever is conducting the examination, they're giving you that indirect hints that we want books from which you learn something, your personality grows, your thinking grows. Self-help books are good, but as far as I have seen, it does not work in each and every scenario because it's like a top to bottom approach. And coincidentally, I had discussed that book in the class and he was quite happy about it. And that made me happy. That was a very good day for me as far as I'm concerned. But yeah.
No, one can start with the Shashi Tharoor books. He has written books on Hinduism, on Ambedkar, on Constitution also he has written the book. Living Constitution. There is a small book, Living Constitution. I would recommend you to read, not just stick with Lakshmikant. Right, it's a wonderful analytical small book on Indian Constitution, The Living Constitution, Shashi Tharoor. You just Google it. It's priced less amount, so you can buy it and read it. Right? Why I Am Hindu. That's also a very good book. I've read it. Book on Ambedkar alive. So you can start with books that make sense. If at all you're still thinking about UPSC and where to use that knowledge in UPSC.
In and around us, there are certain events like literature festival that happens, maybe
One must go there.
yeah, Bangalore, then film festivals that happens. So students can engage in these type of events as well. And one thing that I want to add is with your friends, have frank conversations, open conversations about issues like this. Don't be judgmental. Don't be angry at them for the opinion that they have. Just have open, honest conversation and be friends at the end of that conversation. Remember that. When they start to have these things, I think they will develop that strong mindset.
So when they have enriched their perspectives, when they have broadened their horizons about understanding of the world, when they have lots of options, choices to make, so that is when you are truly enjoying the freedom. That is when you are truly enjoying the life. So I think again it's very difficult to get this kind of awareness by yourself. You need to come and you need to go and meet such people who have seen lots of life and who have a broader perspective about life. So going to such events and talking to individuals, so you'll meet good people and bad people. Who is good and who is bad. So we might remember bad experience, but at the same time when you speak to good people, they change your perspective, they enrich you, right? So the growth happens when you meet lots of people, right? Lots of good people, lots of people who are rich in terms of their experience, knowledge, skills. So they are available everywhere. You go to Indian Institute of Science, if in Bangalore, if there is a Nobel laureate coming and delivering a talk, just speak to 5 people there. You will have a new perspectives on so many things about the topic that is discussed or something else. You go to literary fest or you come to mentor here. You talk about UPSC, you can ask about their experiences because they were aspirant, right? So maybe some of the things they may share, you can correlate and then you can learn few lessons also.
So when people have such type of mindset, it becomes very easy for them to have that self-discipline. Sometimes students ask me, sir, I want you to give me a timetable. I don't have a problem. I can give you the timetable. But at the end of the day, they have to implement it. And each and every student is different. They might not be me, right? They might not be what Vinay Sir is, the timetable that Sir gives you. So I can give you a timetable, make the change in it and stick to it. Have a routine for yourself. So students who come to you and they ask you about self-discipline, how to stick to a routine, how to be consistent, what would be your advice to them?
See, again, you earlier said $1 million question. So it's a very difficult question to ask, how to develop self-discipline. So I am also not very much self-disciplined in a way that there is no timetable we follow. There is no routine. But what is there is that, as I said, ambition is there. Again, I am not attached with the end goal because it's totally uncertain where this institution will go or where my goal will take me. I really don't know. But ambition is there. Okay, so I want to do this. I want to become like this. It is there. But it's totally uncertain. May happen, may not happen. But that should not make me cynical or pessimistic, right? So you have a ambition, okay, that's a dream, vision, but no, don't get too much attached to it. Now to reach there, you have to go through lots of things, you have to do lots of things, you have to become a better individual, right? So now let the focus be on those things currently. So those things we have to do passionately. Now let us say from an aspirant's viewpoint. Now you are not good at answer writing, you are not good at essay writing, but you definitely want to score 140 plus in essay, right? You want to crack this examination, you want to score highest marks in GS papers. No, don't be attached with that. That ambition is there, okay, let it stay there. Now we have to come back, right? You have to focus here. So to write better answers, you have to read basics. You should know your concepts well. You should have deeper understanding of the topic. You should know how to bring different topics together and create something. You have to develop your thinking abilities, analytical thinking, critical thinking. So it is a not a small individual work. Reading editorial helps, right? So be passionate about reading editorial by yourself and analyzing them. After that, you really want to improve answer writing, start writing.
Anything is fine.
Anything is fine. Write anything. It can be a radical stuff. It can be nonsense stuff. It can be absurd stuff. Just start writing. Then eventually, once your understanding grows, you will know how to give it shape according to the demand of the examination. So now in a day, you don't clearly demarcate like, I want to do this
From
for
9 to
2
11
or
a.m.
3 hours I want to do, 4 hours I want to do. Broadly, like if you are giving like 10 hours, you can say like 1 or 2 hours for newspaper. Be flexible, right? Maybe 1 or 2 hours for answer writing. Be flexible, right? Maybe 3 to 4 hours for studying GS or solving PYQs. Be flexible. So now your half day go in only reading newspaper. It's perfectly fine, right? So your half day go only in figuring out how to write 1 or 2 answers. You write something, you want to rewrite whatever. It's perfectly fine in my opinion. But you have learned so many new things in that day. That is also part of the self-discipline. Now, self-discipline doesn't mean that, compulsorily we have to do 4 to 5 things on a daily basis. Let there be broadly, like in a month, definitely you need to do. Right? Entire month you cannot read only newspapers. That is lack of self-discipline. But in a day, so you can break it into parts and do something very passionately related to your goal, your aim. So next day you can adjust the routine because you have learned lesson here. So less time for newspaper, less for answer writing, accommodate optional if you want, right? So a time comes where it becomes seamless. So morning you do paper, you do optional, whatever you want. In a day you can accommodate everything. But from the day one itself, if you want to do everything, in the beginning, only if you were trained to do so during your school, college days, it may be possible now. But if you are not trained before coming here, so go slow and steady way. And again, there has to be intensity. There has to be a sense of urgency also. Sense of it should be purposeful. And but you can gradually will achieve it.
Exactly, sir. The term that you told, flexibility, it matters a lot. Having a broad plan and having that thinking capability, way to make changes in the plan, way to tweak it on a day-to-day basis, that definitely helps. Many of the students, they don't have that visionary planning. Many of the students might lack that intuitive thinking, right? This is where things can go wrong. And I saw the video, which was quite beautiful, some 8-minute video that you had made, intuitive thinking. And these things should not be just watched, these things should be internalized. When these things happen, it becomes much better, I feel.
So what happens when you gradually start developing this discipline? It's a natural discipline. You don't consciously do it. You have to do it. You will do it. For example, I came in the morning. You came in the morning. You wanted to take a class. You took a class. You wanted to do podcast. We are doing. We are not postponing it. Right. In between, many things come. We accommodate. There is flexibility. So the competency increases. The capacity to do more things in 24 hours increases exponentially. So when you take it, incrementally, gradually, right? And that eventually reduces the uncertainty. Because you will start experiencing, you will feeling that, okay, you have improved here. Your essay is so better now. Your answer is so better. And it is validated by us, the mentors. You have to go and get it validated. If it is not validated, right, it is not acknowledged by experts, then the uncertainty will always remain huge.
And maybe there is a fake sense of superiority which might not be backed up by writing, I guess.
That is false confidence.
Yes.
That's very dangerous, right? So from your perspective, you may be feeling certain also. But from the larger competitive perspective, we will know that it is uncertain for you. So only when you come and tell, we will know that it's a bubble or it's truly have arrived or something. So we have had some experiences like that. Even after writing 3-4 mains, giving 3-4 interviews, they were in this loop, thinking that they were doing everything right. They were writing best essays. So even when I was taking marks, some of them said who came for interview, they scored 80, 90 in essay papers. Despite spending 4-5 years, they never went to anyone and showed their essays. topper copy downloaded.
They did not even practice enough as much as they
Like
should.
that is also there. Didn't practice. So I think everything should come together.
And you spoke about doing things for the fun of it, right? That is one of the ways you can keep yourself disciplined. And there is this psychology concept of extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. When you're dependent on certain external factors to go through your life for your routine or whatever it might be, it's not long term sustainable. But when you do something from your own intrinsic motivation, from your own inner clarity point of view, your inner urge, that is where I think things get better. So don't lose that inner motivation. That's what I think. So when it comes to the psychology of a student, let us say there is a student sitting in front of you. What is that one advice you want to give so that he or she follows it in this journey? One advice, last one advice from you, sir.
So very difficult question. Just one advice. We are habituated to give lots of advices. Just one advice. So one advice I usually, in fact, request them, in a way that become mentally very tough.
It's not about happen. It's about being mentally tough,
It's
anti-fragile.
become mentally tough, because your life is not just about UPSC journey, right? After this phase, there are many other phases. Whether you're successful or failure, there are many other phases which are going to come. When you are mentally tough, right, you are going to handle them very well. You are not going to be bogged down. You are not going to be affected by them, right? So one after another, the life will move on, but you will also grow when you are mentally really tough. So how to develop that? Maybe another podcast, how to become mentally tough. But that is one advice I would like to give individuals.
Thank you, sir. So, my dear students, in the last 1 hour, we have discussed about the stress that the students feel, the kind of mindset that you need to have, and how you have to use that to overcome procrastination, how to control your instant gratification, and how that mindset, strong mindset, will help you to deal with the issues of, let us say, self discipline that you're facing, and more importantly, how to get that inner motivation from your side. As I told you in the beginning, education, many people don't keep students as center of gravity. The purpose of this podcast was to change that. You are our focal point. And if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us. Feel free to get in touch with our mentors, anyone at Insights, and we will always be happy to help you out. For us, education is not a process where we are preparing you for life. Education is life itself. And I hope this podcast was useful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. See you next time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.